What if the headlines you are hearing right now are not just ordinary news, but signals of something much deeper, something that was written long ago and is now unfolding before your eyes? What if the tension surrounding Iran, the growing conflict tied to Israel, the lingering fire between Russia and Ukraine, and even the quiet but strategic movements of the United Kingdom are not random events, but pieces of a pattern described thousands of years ago in Matthew, Daniel, and Revelation? Stay with me very closely, because this is not just another story, and your attention right now is more important than you think. If you listen carefully from beginning to end, you may begin to see connections that most people are completely missing, and that is exactly why this moment demands your full focus. Right now, the entire world feels like it is holding its breath. There is a tension in the air that goes beyond politics or economics. It is something deeper, something almost spiritual in nature. The conflict involving Iran and Israel has captured global attention in a way that feels different from past conflicts. It is not just about territory or power. It feels symbolic, as if something ancient is being stirred. Israel has always held a unique place in biblical prophecy, and when events surround Israel, the world pays attention in a way it does not for any other nation. This alone should make you pause and think, because in prophecy, Israel is never just another country, it is often the center point. At the same time, the war between Russia and Ukraine continues to reshape global dynamics. The actions associated with Vladimir Putin have not only affected Eastern Europe but have sent ripples across the entire world. Economies have shifted, alliances have been tested, and the balance of power has begun to tilt in ways that few predicted. What started as a regional conflict has become something much bigger, something that connects with other global tensions in ways that are becoming clearer with each passing day. And if you are still listening, this is where your attention becomes critical, because the more you connect these events, the more you begin to see that they are not isolated. Then there is the United Kingdom, a nation that has long played a significant role on the global stage. While it may not always be at the center of conflict, its influence in diplomacy, intelligence, and global alliances remains powerful. The UK's responses to these unfolding events reflect a broader Western perspective, one that is deeply intertwined with the actions of other nations. And when you step back and look at the bigger picture, you begin to see a web of connections forming, connections that link the Middle East, Europe, and beyond. Now this is where things begin to move from observation to understanding, and this is why you must stay engaged. Because once you see the pattern, everything starts to make more sense. In Matthew 24, Jesus Christ speaks about wars and rumors of wars, nations rising against nations, and increasing turmoil across the world. These are not described as isolated events, but as signs that point to a larger timeline. And when you look at the world today, it becomes difficult to ignore how closely these descriptions match what we are seeing. The idea of birth pains is especially important here. Birth pains do not happen once. They happen repeatedly, growing stronger and closer together as the moment approaches. When you look at recent years, you see a pattern of increasing intensity. Conflicts are becoming more frequent, crises are becoming more severe, and the time between major global events is shrinking. This is not just a feeling, it is a pattern. And patterns are what prophecy is built on. But here is something even more important, something that directly affects you. In 2 Timothy 4 verse 3, there is a warning about a time when people will have itching ears, seeking messages that align with their desires rather than the truth. Think about the world we live in today. Information is everywhere. News, social media, opinions, they are all competing for your attention. And in that noise, it becomes easy to hear what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear. This is exactly why audience retention matters in a message like this, because staying engaged means you are choosing to seek understanding rather than distraction. Now let's go deeper, because this is where the connection becomes even more powerful. In Daniel 12 verse 4, it speaks about a time when knowledge will increase and people will move rapidly from place to place. Today, we are living in that reality. Technology has transformed the world into a connected network where information travels instantly. But with that increase in knowledge has come an increase in confusion. People know more, but they are less certain about what is true. And that uncertainty creates a space where deception can thrive. And deception is a key theme in prophecy. Not small deception, but widespread, global deception. The kind that can influence entire populations. The kind that can shape how people see reality itself. When you consider how narratives are formed today, how quickly information spreads, and how easily perspectives can be manipulated, it becomes clear that we are living in a time where discernment is more important than ever. Now bring your focus back to the global stage. Iran and Israel are not just in conflict. They represent deeper historical and spiritual tensions. Russia's involvement in global affairs is not just about politics. It reflects a shift in power that affects the entire world. The United Kingdom's position is not just diplomatic, it is part of a larger network of alliances that shape global outcomes. And when you look at all of this together, you begin to see something remarkable, a convergence. This convergence is what makes this moment so significant. It is not just one event or one conflict. It is multiple events happening at the same time, influencing each other, creating a complex and interconnected reality. And this is exactly what makes audience engagement so important, because understanding this requires continuous attention. You cannot just look at one piece, you have to see the whole picture. And here is the part that many people overlook. Prophecy is not just about predicting what will happen. It is about revealing patterns that help people understand the times they are living in. It is about awareness. It is about preparation. It is about seeing beyond the surface and recognizing what lies beneath. So what does all of this mean for you? It means that you are living in a time of significance. A time where the world is changing rapidly, where events are interconnected, and where understanding those connections can make all the difference. It means that staying engaged, paying attention, and seeking truth are more important now than they have ever been. Because the world is not slowing down. The conflicts are not decreasing. The patterns are not fading. They are becoming clearer, stronger, and more intense. And as they do, more people will begin to notice. More people will begin to ask questions. More people will begin to seek answers. The question is, will you be one of them? Will you continue to watch, to listen, to stay engaged? Or will you turn away and miss what is unfolding right in front of you? Because this is not just about history. This is not just about politics. This is about the time you are living in right now. And whether you realize it or not, you are part of this moment. You are witnessing events that generations before you could only read about. You are seeing patterns that were written thousands of years ago begin to take shape in real time. You are living in a period where the line between prophecy and reality is becoming increasingly thin. And that is why your attention matters. Because the more you pay attention, the more you begin to understand. And the more you understand, the more you realize that this is not just another chapter in history. This is something bigger, something deeper, something that is still unfolding. So stay alert, stay aware, stay engaged until the very end, because what comes next may be even more important than what you have just heard. And if you are still listening right now, it means you are already seeing what many others are missing. And that alone could make all the difference. And as you continue to stay engaged, something begins to shift within your perspective. You start to notice patterns not just in global events, but in how people react to them, how narratives are formed, and how quickly attention is diverted from one crisis to another. It becomes clear that distraction itself is a powerful tool, keeping many from fully grasping the depth of what is happening. This is why your decision to remain focused, to follow through to the end, is more important than it may seem. Because awareness is not just about seeing, it is about understanding, and understanding requires patience. It requires the willingness to step back and connect events that may at first seem unrelated. The tension in the Middle East, the persistence of conflict in Eastern Europe, the positioning of global powers, these are not isolated threads. They are part of a larger fabric that is still being woven. And here is something you should not ignore. Moments like this in history often pass unnoticed until they reach a tipping point. By the time the full picture becomes clear to everyone, it is usually because the outcome is already unfolding. That is why staying ahead, staying informed, and staying engaged is not just valuable, it is essential.